Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to get into looking at creating work features and also getting into creating auxiliary views on our drawings. So for this particular part we're going to make a rod guide, but instead of having everything kosher and aligned to the front, the sides, or the top or bottom, we're going to create a part that has an angle in it that would require us to use an auxiliary view on a drawing. And we're going to accomplish that by creating a work plane and then sketching on that work plane. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Right now I do have the base of my part, so it's simply a 2 by 3 inch base that's 3/4 inches thick. It's got 1/4 inch rounds on the corners and then 1/4 inch holes centered on those rounds. But the next part we need to create at a 30-degree angle from what's normal to the front of the part. So how we're going to do that, we're going to come up to our work features area and I'm going to create a plane, that way I can sketch on it. Now if I drop down underneath the plane, or really any other work feature, you can see that there are a lot of scenarios that we can use in order to create a work feature. I'm just going to go ahead and use the generic plane because I want to show you and walk you through the steps on how we use that particular tool. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to come over to my origin folder, and I'm going to use my XY plane as one of my reference features. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. The next thing that I'm going to pick is the y-axis of my part. So what this is going to do, whenever I click this, it's going to create a plane based off the orientation of my XY reference plane that's going to rotate about my y-axis. So right now it has 90 degrees in as the default for whenever I click on this. So I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to type in 30. As you can see, it rotates my plane around 30 degrees in reference to my XY plane. And that's what I'm wanting. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And it creates that work plane for me. And we can see over in the model tree browser that it shows that in there as well. And if I click on the button to expand it, it lets me see what my reference features are for creating this particular work feature. So with that feature created, I'm going to go ahead and start my sketch, and I'm going to select my work plane as my sketching plane. Now to sketch on this, anytime that we have a sketch that's going through a part, we always want to hit F7, or you can come down here to the bottom toolbar and do slice graphics. That helps us see the actual sketch plane and allows us to see what we're drawing on this particular plane. So for this one, I'm going to go in and I'm going to project this top edge of my part here. Now, something to keep in mind whenever you're projecting on an angled surface like this, you want to note exactly how it projects it. So the front edge of my part, whenever I'm projecting onto a 30-degree plane, it's going to start here and end here. So it's not going to react how we typically see a projected piece of geometry react. So you have to keep that in mind whenever you're projecting to an odd angled plane or surface. All right, and then the other thing I need is I'm going to go in and I'm going to select my y-axis and I'm going to project that, because I'm going to use that particular line to help me center my feature that I'm going to sketch on here. And since I've got off kilter here, I'm going to use my look at command, and then I'm going to select my plane I created to get me re-squared up here. Okay, now I'm going to quickly go through and just sketch this part and get it all dimensioned out and constrained out. Okay, now that I have my sketch fully defined, I'm going to go ahead and finish. And we'll see it rotate around here. You can see that my sketch is now going along with that 30-degree plane. And I'm just going to come in here and extrude this guy symmetrically to 1 inch. All right. And then that does it for the rod guide. So now that I have this upper feature up here, I've got it angled correctly. My part's done. I'm going to go ahead, save it. I'm going to take it on over to a part drawing. Okay, now that in my standard drawing, I'm going to go ahead and create a base view of my rod guide. All right, let's increase the, there we are, increase the scale there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just create a front view and a top view of our part. And by doing that, you can see that I really don't get a good look at the face of that feature on the top there. If I'm looking at it from the front or the side, it's going to be skewed and it's not going to be its true size and true shape. So how we get around that is by creating auxiliary views that allow us to look at our part at differing angles other than our 6 basic principal orthographic orientations. So how we do that, we go up to our place view tabs. We have an auxiliary view command up here, and I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, what I need whenever I am creating an auxiliary view is I need the edge where that face appears as a line. So looking at my front and my top view, where I can see this view or that face as an edge is right here on my top view. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select my top view. I'm then going to go in and select that edge as my reference. And then when I pull my mouse down here, you can see it creates that auxiliary view. Then we can click and it will create it for us. Now, this becomes kind of a problem because it does like to keep it in line with that face, which that usually doesn't work out when we're creating our technical drawings. So how we go about breaking that alignment to where we can move this around wherever we need to is by right-clicking on the view, going down to our alignment, and selecting break. What that does is it gives us the view indicator here, and then I can easily just move my view around here as freely as I want. All this view indicator is doing is letting us know that we are at this angle to our top view and we're looking this direction, so the direction the arrows are pointing. Now I can go into my view here and add in all of my annotations to where I'm looking at it directly head on. And things are not going to be skewed or show up at an angle whenever I'm putting my annotations on. Whoop. So you can see right there, that one didn't want to cooperate. But you get the idea. This is why we do auxiliary views, so that we can see true size, true shape of these different components or different features of our component. But that's all I've got for you in this video. So just remember, anytime we have a feature or we need a view where we're not able to capture it in our regular orthographic views, an auxiliary view is the solution to that. So remember that, use it in the future. And as always, be inventive.